Hi everyone, my name is Esther. For today's topic, we'll talk about AI. The actual big question is, would AI take over our job as marketers? And for today's podcast, I have my special someone to join us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, thank you very much, Esther. Hi, my name is Ying Hao. I'm partnership manager. I have years of experience in the marketing industry, both specializing in the digital performance aspect as well as the creative aspects. Happy to join you in today's podcast.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So for today's topic, we are talking about AI. So what do you know about AI?
AI, wow, it's such a big topic today. I think it all started when GPT launches their public news. And I think AI, as general tool to me, it's not something I think very foreign of. It has been part of our lives for a while. It's just that it has always been in the background of our daily life. We haven't really been engaging, but in fact, there are a lot of industry, a lot of technology. They are really using what we call AI today.
Yes. So if you have not watched any of my previous episode, I have shared about how AI has existed in our daily life. So you may refer somewhere in the link above and check them out. But as a short summary for in local context, especially in Singapore, there are big organization that has used AI as a tool to help them to get more consumers or even businesses. For example, in DBS, they have a DigiBot. It is a chatbot whereby consumer can chat with it and get real-time answers, so that it helps DBS to save a lot of time, and consumers can also do not need to wait too long in order to get an answer. Another classic example is SQ. All of us like to travel. So the AI will study our likes and dislikes, our preferences towards travel, and they will push recommendation to you so that you can just buy your air tickets. So these are the two main examples in Singapore context.
So what does that mean, with all of this? And exactly to my point, we have been co-living with AI, just like how we have been living with COVID. Yes, I think that's exactly the point. Like AI actually existed in our life. It exists in our life, I should say, not existed in our life.
Yeah, so this is actually nothing new.
Yeah.
Just that because of ChatGPT, all of this AI news start to resurface again. Yeah.
Okay. So what are we discussing today?
So for today's big question is, do you think that AI will take over our jobs?
Oh, my job?
Our jobs, as in our job as a marketer.
Okay, I'm not in the marketing field now, but if I were to look back at what are the capabilities that AI is providing now, my honest opinion is that it will not. For a few particular reasons. I think one, I think AI is still a machine behind or what is executing certain tasks, certain action. If you're asking a question, it can answer you. But to the extent as to create something more personalized, something more with human touch of elements, I think you definitely still prefer someone who is a living person behind doing that. It gives you certain sense of confidence level. Second, I don't think it will differentiate is because you need that human element to differentiate between what is created out of a template, what is created uniquely for your brand. And why I think AI will be the leveraging tool is that AI will start to help you to kill off a lot of those more mundane stuff or a lot of those time-consuming effort. So where you can actually now focus your time as a marketer, as a designer, to focus on creating even more quality work and how you can actually excel over AI. So while you're competing against AI, you're learning from AI, you're learning about your opponent nowadays. So I don't think it will necessarily take over. And I think the last part about it is how much of it is reliable, how much of it is dependable. I think to have this conversation. If you talk to someone, you can immediately understand how much you talk to the person, confidence, the person, everything. But AI, it responses to you in a very systematic way. That's right. It gives you the answer to your query. That's the end. You can continue to have conversation with it, but as a conversation flow, you will still prefer to talk to a person, talk to an advisor. So I still feel that AI will not fully take over the need of a marketer or designer in any form of aspect. But I think it will definitely challenges people who in this area, regardless which pillar you are in, to really excel further than what you are doing today. What about you?
Personally, I think that AI will not take over our job in the near future yet, but will it take over our role as a marketer, maybe like 2 decades down the road? Maybe. There's a high chance because technology is evolving very fast, and the technology behind AI is like evolving even faster right now. So maybe by the time I put this out on YouTube, who knows what a new technology will come out already. But in this recent time till today, I would not deny the fact that AI has been helping us a lot in terms of automation, studying of analytics, pushing of content to specific target group, and even creating personalization emails and stuff like that as well. So these are really helpful ways whereby AI has been helping us, but will it take over our job? No, because AI cannot take over our human touch. It cannot take away our creativity.
And this brings back to a good point as why we're actually doing this for you today. Is that connection that we feel that this topic itself speaks for, I think, a lot of audiences behind this screen that's maybe having the concern that, oh, wow, ChatGPT is really very, very powerful. And to add on to Esther's point is AI has always actually been in our back. And you spoke about Facebook audience targeting. These are all things that are already in the market. If you're not maybe in the marketing sector, you may not be very hands-on on those elements. But today, if you just look at all the advertisements that you're receiving today, these are all based on algorithm behind of the machine learning, based on your behaviors. And this is no secret, I think, in the media industry anymore.
Yeah, it's no secret. You would think that maybe Spotify or Netflix knows you damn well because they are pushing out content that you feel like having it at that point of time. Actually, it's powered by AI as well. So if you're feeling very sad and then suddenly a sad song surfaces, it's not because Spotify knows you. It's because the AI knows you well. Yeah.
So it becomes like a personalization, and by that means we are not saying that Spotify is doing something that is a bit creepy in that sort of way, but it's really personalizing all of the experience to give you that actually beyond that somebody also knows what you're actually going through. Well, it may not be a physical person. The things that you're seeing are all based on your experiences, your engagement with the social media. Some say it's scary, yes, but I think more of it is then how can we actually leverage from these kind of tools and these kind of engines to help us actually to be even more creative.
Yeah, so like what he said earlier, the AI, the algorithm is to enhance our experiences and so that we will be able to relate with the products themselves. So this is what the companies are doing. It is not something that is not ethical. It is a way of business. So after all, at the end of the day, AI is still a tool. It's up to individual to decide how you want to use it. So there are articles or even YouTube videos whereby users try to guess like ChatGPT. Yeah, so it is quite funny actually, whereby they will try to guess like it to make it mention that 1 + 1 is equal to 3. So it's something interesting that you can go and look out on the internet. But
I think to that point, it's what I speak earlier of the third point, right? The reliability and the source itself. There are a lot of elements because I think this is the initial stage of I think ChatGPT or even
it's the very beginning of ChatGPT.
More vast AI. It's not very specific anymore.
I won't use vast, but smart AI.
Yeah, smart AI, right? Interactive AI.
Interactive, very smart because it studied way almost the
But
entire
that's
history
the
of the
thing.
internet. Yeah.
Today, how many actually of you kind of like get information from Wikipedia? Because it's technically that we're speaking of the same thing, right? It's actually an open source database where let's say if ChatGPT don't have the information today, you can actually provide certain information for them to start putting into their database, their memory. Same thing like Wikipedia, it's an open source. Everyone can actually go onto Wikipedia, search for content or topic that
Yes.
they are interested to delve into, even sometimes research, although
Yeah, it's not the best place to do your research, people.
It's not, right? But how many of us actually do that? I'm guilty as well. But that's why I say, but at the end of the day, these are still just information that we're actually pulling up or educating, self-enriching ourselves with.
Yes.
But whether is it accurate, whether is it does it give you the enough confidence level for you to go and communicate more? I think this is something that you still have to do it yourself. The AI is not going to be 100% tell you that, okay, 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah. At this point of time, I would agree that AI is not the most accurate way to do your research, because even for Wikipedia itself, right, any one of us can go in and edit the content. Yeah. So AI right now is feeding in content from all over the internet, especially for ChatGPT. They are taking content from various sources. So it is not a good representation of the answer that you want to get sometimes. So it is best to cross-reference, validate your the sources.
And in fact, if you have someone who is professional in that field, that just proves the point that there is no way AI will replace someone who is specialized in the field itself. It's like imagine today if everything is based off AI. Who is feeding the information to the AI? There must still be someone that is behind.
There is still a programmer behind the AI machine.
Exactly. So that's why I think, which I think will bring us to the next topic of the pros and cons.
Yeah. So what do you think are some of the pros or some of the cons that you think AI or maybe even ChatGPT?
I start first or you want to start first?
You can start first.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the pros of it is that it really starts to give us the platform to elevate ourselves. Like today, if you want to learn something new, completely new, like coding, for example, and you don't have that kind of background, I think AI or the engagement that AI kind of provide to you give you a very good fundamental ground for anyone that doesn't have that much of resources.
You mean ChatGPT?
I think it doesn't have to be specific to ChatGPT. There are a lot of other platforms. They are also innovating and also kind of engaging. So I don't necessarily think it's one lever, but I think that's what actually, in fact, for us, we're actually evolving. We're actually racing with AI, machine learning, the information. They definitely have more information than us, but one thing they cannot do is decisioning for us. So the pros of it is we can make use of all of these various tools, platforms to help us to make even more accurate decision, or even to find actually a kickoff ground. For example, if you want to start coding, or you want to start music writing. These are information that you don't have to get a physical book, which is actually bad for book publisher. That comes to
or even
con.
authors.
Yeah, the authors itself. But as someone who is really passionate, let's say now you're really getting into coding or getting into like songwriting or content creation, for example, you will still want to speak to someone who is more professional, who have experiences, because that's something that is not on the network yet.
Yeah, so yes, I do agree with that, because AI has been very helpful to almost a lot of people in various industry. So for example, in HR, right, AI is helping HR professionals to read candidates' resumes and pull out resumes that are relevant to the job.
Or even for mine.
Maybe, who knows? Even recently, I saw a few reels on Instagram that there are AI-powered tools or apps that can help you to draw wireframes immediately. So it help you to speed up the process, and you can just port over the wireframes to Figma to do your prototypes. So even in the marketer's role, right, there are Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and various type of Google SEO, all that. All these insights are powered by AI. So it has been very helpful to all of us in some way or another, and it has definitely helped us to automate these processes to save up our time so that we don't need to, study too much don't need to do the paperwork, the manual calculation behind it as well. So these are the pros.
Yeah, which I think if I zoom out of it, it's actually about how we educate ourselves, right? Or education in general, because we are now for people who don't have that resource to actually study those kind of field. Now, maybe ChatGPT in specific can provide you as a platform for that. So again, everyone now is getting a level up because of ChatGPT. So like I say, it's not even a bad thing. It's actually even good for us because we are actually gaining advantage against other people. Everyone is having the same ground. You have access to ChatGPT, or you
right now.
If eventually AI becomes something that is more mainstream, everyone will be able to tap on those services. So for someone who maybe wants to explore something a bit differently, it's not going to be compared. It's not saying that you will lose out, but in the sense is that you have a different platform for you to start educating yourself on. So for example, nutritionists, they can just search on, hey, tell me how do I control my calories intake, or what's the normal calories for the day. I mean, they'll get information from there, but that's where they create a platform for them to even dwell into something even more critical, create something more that I think you wouldn't have the resources before this platform.
Yeah. So even for readers out there who would like to read but never had the time, you can ask ChatGPT to provide you with a summary of the content. Maybe. I never tried that, but it can be done, I think.
Oh, that's a genius way though.
Yeah, so you can just read a book in less than 10 minutes or less.
Again, we are not discriminating authors from there.
We are not. It's just a way to save time.
Yeah. It's just that, again, but to be honest, if you go to a bookstore, I think the first thing that you always read is still the first page or the last page of the storybook. No?
If I go to a bookstore, I really know what I want to buy.
Okay.
But I do buy books online, digital books and both physical books, because I personally prefer to read the full content, especially for marketing books and some of the consumer behavior books. Yes. So ChatGPT might be able to give you the full some of the summary, but it won't give you the full details, whereby you really need to read the books like several times in order to get the context out of it.
And critically, again, what we will talk about here is the validation part, because again, ChatGPT or any AI source is just pulling information from whatever sources that they have, whether it is something that is already open source or whether it is specific to the content itself. Is still do your due diligence, your own find fact checking and all those kind of things would definitely I think be one of the things that you still have to do it.
Yes.
Regardless if you're using AI or if you're buying a book, it's the same thing as you will start to have curious questions also.
Yeah.
And that's where you will go and maybe research, maybe even
research,
email the author, those kind of things. You see, it doesn't really change, I think, the human habit that much. I think the only kind of again, the pros is that it really enriches our life with a vast a platform for us to reach information more easily.
Yeah, it just created another opportunity for us to learn to save our time, use our time more effectively. But one of the cons that I realized is I feel that I'm being a bit too lazy at times, whereby I feel like
over-reliance.
There's a certain over-reliances on these apps. There's no new ideas coming to me because I'm relying on all these things. It kind of reduced my creativity. Yeah, which is something that I feel like something is still missing in the AI-powered tools, which is creativity. Yes, they can create all these prototypes for you, generic prototypes for you, or templates, but it doesn't bring the extra value.
Yeah. And I think I really agree to that point, is that, again, if everyone is using a single template, someone who is viewing that will feel like, oh, now it's nothing special anymore, If you're writing a resume, the resume template is giving you, I mean, it won't be the same for everything, but you will see certain very similarities. And for I think HR people, for even human resource, like you mentioned, they will start seeing very similar kind of effort, and to which point are you validating that someone is putting more effort or someone is just like getting ChatGPT to write that for them?
It does not boost confidence.
Yeah. The creative or even essay, right? Like I mean, you can get a AI bot to write essay for you, but how much of that are you really having that kind of feeling or expression in your words, the choice of words? You can use fantastic fabricated word, but I think out of it is the creative itself. Once you start over relying on things, I think that's always the case of humanity, right? When you start to depend very heavily on certain things, you might start to lose track of certain qualities, certain creativity that I think as a human being we all have in ourselves. It's just that maybe confidence or everything.
Yeah, it's not just that, but also about your thought processes. So in some big company, they emphasize on thought processes. So when there's an over-reliance on such app, right, your thought process just kind of shrink or narrow down, whereby you do no longer know exactly if this is a good idea or not. There's not much research done, and even you ask the AI for their research, there might not be any proof that, hey, this might be a good idea to carry out at all. You never know, but it is something that one should ponder about when you are using such tools. Yes, it is a powerful tool. It will help you, but how much can it help you? And are you relying on these apps too much? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that will be a question that I think time will tell. To see, will we become like the iRobot movie that we are relying so much on AI that eventually leads to realization that it is ultimately still a machine, and then you have to still live outside of those things to be ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, and to be relevant to people, to connect with people. I think those are things that you can't deny that we have to be in person there to kind of really do that experience.
AI can't take away our human touch.
Yeah. Will you watch a football match that is run by simulations and everything? I don't think that will be the case itself. It's still the kind of reach, the kind of
you
excitement.
roughly know who will win the competition, right? If AI is going to power the...
I mean, it's an possibility, right? Like, again, there's no way to tell you what is possible and what is not possible.
Oh my goodness, I'll be so angst if the competition is rigged,
Exactly. So that's why I think as human, we still kind of want to see that human interaction. I think one good thing that may be a bit underrated is people who are not so good in conversation. Why do I say that? It's because take ChatGPT for example, and while we are saying this, we are not sponsored by ChatGPT. Nothing is against ChatGPT. I think if you look at it, is for someone who is not so sociable, that's a platform that allows them to converse in certain manner of conversation.
But you're conversing with a robot.
But and that's the thing, it helps you to start to create a thought process between you. And then next time, it creates that knowledge that, okay, next time if I'm going to talk about certain conversation, now I have certain kind of conversation, whether is it validated or whether is it fact-checked conversation, now you know what kind of flow it's going to talk about in that kind of manner. So in a sense that if today I'm not so confident in talking to certain people, I think that is like a small platform that you can actually go to say, hi, I have a question.
How do I ask a question?
How do I ask a question? How do I ask a girl out on a date? Like I said, I mean, this is...
I'm judging you.
No, but if you think about it, there will be people who is facing this kind of
I do
difficulties
agree.
and this kind of thing, or even just social interaction itself. How do I talk? How do I talk? How do I continue a conversation, for example? Some people might find it very hard to open this kind of conversation, or how I'm in a bad shape now, or I'm facing certain stress. How can I actually deal with this kind of thing? I'm experiencing certain things, like be it medical or be it certain things. Now if it's too private for you to engage someone, a specialist or something things, this is not something like a platform. Again, the tricky part is these are already existing platforms that you can tap into. But I think having this kind of AI engagement helps you to give you that, okay, that kind of like secret buddy, your soul friend, soulmate kind of engagement for you to, talk about everything under the sun. Will it become again over reliances? I think this is something that we have to monitor ourselves. You still check in with your friends to see how are they doing.
Yes.
Those are important things that we
Yes.
still have to be careful.
Other than reliances and checking in with your friends, right? If you are talking about medical issues, policy matters, enforcement by the law, it's best to check with professional.
Yeah.
Because sometimes such software, right, they can give you a cookie cutter strategy, they might give you the standard answer, but it might not be able to tell you the actual illness or disease or case or root cause of everything that
or
you
even
had.
medication itself. So it's not for us. I mean, it's a platform for you to really kind of like start digging information or start kind of be able to open this kind of conversation up, and it helps you to also validate that, okay, I really need someone to talk to, a real person to talk to, because the bot can only do so much for you.
Yeah. It will provide you with the resources that you need, but at the end of the day, at this point of time, it's best to check with professionals, because I would say that it is not that advanced or that smart yet to give you 100% accurate answers.
Yeah.
Even humans make errors, let alone AI. Yeah. So these are a few cons that we had. So what do you think are some of the skill set that we should have to work alongside or maybe to be ahead of the curve of AI?
I think it's nothing going to be different from what we are doing today. I think it's really just your own due diligence. It's the same way as when you're finding information on Wikipedia, providing you certain information. You still want to have certain fact check done. Still talk to certain other people. We will not take away from that just because you have a new platform for you to engage or even automate certain things. You still want to make sure that they are all running in proper places. And we talk about 1 + 1 = 3. This is a very scary thing. If kids start to learn that 1 + 1 = 3, it will go haywire. So
no, that's not the worst part. The worst part is if kids learn how to guess like other people. That's the worst. Yeah. It's not something that you want to encourage people to do.
Yeah, I guess that is the skill. I wouldn't say skills. I wouldn't call it skill set. I would say it's your own efficacy to make sure that as much as possible, you are not trying to provide someone with a false statement, like doing certain things is legal, doing certain other things is not legal. This kind of thing. I think the validation of information, if any major company was to really use it, right, I think it really boils down to the validation of information you're providing to your clients. To take, for example, we talk about being in the financial industry, you have a very high due diligence of making sure that data privacy, data protection. You have very strong on how you treat your clients, because at the end of the day,
and the accuracy of information.
Exactly. And today, if you're pulling information and then starting they cross match to a different profile, now there's a data leak and everything. It's going to be a mess in there. So I think the validation and everything will still have to be contained to the point where it might actually be holding the AI bots behind from further innovating for themselves or finding information. So the only way for it to happen is you still need someone behind the AI bot to start creating those logics, algorithm, to make sure that whatever they do, it's ethical, justifiable, ethical, within the compound of security and protection.
So one thing for sure is that even though AI or technology is advancing, there are still people working behind the scenes to make sure that all these ethical issues are being kind of resolved or being solved in one way or another, or being looked into. So there are Data Protection Act right now. There are security enforcement And of course, other than all these things, right, one thing that we human need is the human touch as well. AI can't take away this. And when you go to your kopitiam to ask to order your 菜饭, your favorite auntie or uncle will always call you 帅哥美女. So that is something that you might miss if AI start to take over their roles.
Yeah. So I think skill set wise to really tap on to AI, I think the main thing is not really about skill set. I think it's not to be afraid of the platform itself. See it from a different perspective that is providing you a pathway, a door to infinite information.
For me, I see it as an additional tool for me to save more time.
Yeah. Definitely. Then I can spend more time with her.
So for me, because I have used several apps powered by AI, like Facebook ads, Notion AI, ChatGPT, and countless more AI products, they have been very helpful to me because I'm not a programmer. I don't know a lot about coding, but all this has helped me to save tremendous time. So kudos to the programmers. And which is one thing that I say, once you get overly reliant on all these apps, right, you start to doubt yourself at times. But this is not a
bad
case.
thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Because, like I say, now you get to spend more time on further
things
improving.
that really matters to you right now.
Exactly. And even like you can even spend more time with your family. I mean, that's the definition of automation, right? AI is just now an engine that is powering all of these.
Yes. So which is one thing that I encourage people to use it to their advantage, but do not use it for anything that's against your moral values or against ethical issue. So we are coming to the end. Do you have anything to add on?
No, I think for anyone that is worrying about really the main thing of whether AI will replace any of your roles, your jobs, I think you really don't have to worry of that. I think the main focus is you have your values, you have your qualities itself. And now with the AI itself, you don't have to shun away. I mean, by embracing AI, maybe you find another new way of creative that value adds to your own portfolio.
Yeah, I do agree that AI is something that we need to learn to have it integrate our life or even in our daily jobs. I would say it's a new opportunity for us to save time here and there by using all these apps and then refocusing our energy into things that matter to us, be it your family members, upskilling yourself. So these are really helpful to all of us out here. So there's actually nothing to fear at all. But it is a very good time to remind all of us that this is the time whereby, hey, have you not been chasing after the goals that you want to have in life? So if you have been wanting to be a fashion designer, there's digital clothing right now. So you can go and study all this and be a AI-powered digital creator in another world. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So you really open opportunity, even from in our daily lives, right? If you look at how, I think the question can come up to see how can we actually embrace AI into our living life. Like let's say today, if your EZ-Link card is now low on value with a automation that once it crosses less than $3, automatically top $20.
That's not gyro. No?
But I mean, you need someone to be behind to tell you that your card is actually at lower level. I think it's really at the end of the day. I think the moral of the story is that we want to embrace AI, not to be over reliant on it.
Yes.
But at the same time, is seeing how it's starting to automate what you're doing now. So why shun away from certain things that's improving your efficiency and see how you leverage on those information to create something that is more to what you are speaking for.
Yeah, I would say this is a great chance for all of us right now to use AI to help us in our daily problems or pain points, to enhance them, to improve our life. Yeah.
Yeah, fully agree on that.
Yes. So will AI take over our jobs?
No, they don't have to worry so much.
Yeah, not now.
Not now. At least not for the in next 5 years, I guess. It will not change the economy so drastically.
Yet.
Yeah.
So that's all for today.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a very good session.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you, everyone. See you, everyone.
If you like the video, remember to
like, share, and subscribe.